Hello everyone. When I meet aspirants, I get this common query. Sir, what should I be focusing? Should I be focusing on optional or should I be focusing on general studies? It's a very illogical question, incorrect question. It's like as if asking which of your two eyes is more important. You need both the eyes to have a good stereoscopic vision, and hence it is illogical to prioritize one over the other. Instead, the right question that aspirants should be asking me is, Sir, I have 10 hours to study. How do I divide the time between general studies and optional? How do I ensure the maximum returns I get out of the 5 or 6 hours that I spend on my general studies? That's the right question to ask. And the answer for that is start with newspaper, right? Give minimal importance to subjects that have exclusive importance only in mains. When you encounter subjects like world history or post-independence consolidation, or it could be about international relations or internal security, the topics that you have in the main syllabus sheet may not really be useful in prelims. First, clear prelims. Then, in the gap between prelims and mains, just spend 15 days. You can cover world history, PIC, and internal security all together. Because the kind of motivation that you will have after prelims will itself ensure you will study 12 to 14 hours every day covering these three subjects. So, instead, the time that you spend on a daily basis, start with the newspaper, identify which direction of preparation can help you maximize the time that you're going to spend in both delivering outcomes in both prelims and mains. Only select those kind of topics from newspaper, keep reading the editorials. After you read articles, go and search in a way you're able to extract notes, you're able to make notes that help you simultaneously in GS2 as well as in polity, or GS3 in mains as well as in tackling some economy scheme related questions that are asked in prelims, right? You should be very choosy in identifying topics and areas from newspaper that gives you the double benefit of both helping you clear prelims as well as mains. Instead, just imagine you have a full week and you are going to only read world history, world history, world history. Even after reading for a week, you may still feel that there are gaps. And you take a test and you write and you will feel that, oh my God, after reading for 1 week also, I'm not able to get a good marks in my test. That lowers your confidence. So don't do anything that lowers your confidence, right? So I would say that the best way to spend your 5-6 hours in general studies is by understanding how UPSC has asked its 2026 prelims. From 2026 prelims, it is very clear. Let's say you take history and you read, don't simply by heart the kings, don't simply by heart the empires. Instead, learn the inference. The presence of coins around the 600 BC period indicates urbanization. Those inferences, right? Or the presence of land grants during the period of Guptas, it indicates feudalism. The presence of land grants along with the name of laborers registered in the land grant on the copper plate, it indicates serfdom coming into existence. This is the kind of takeaway that you should be learning, right? So don't spend your time mindlessly covering books cover to cover. That's such a wasteful way of using your time. There are two smart strategies you should be following. One is, when you read your newspaper, identify articles which maximizes its potential in both prelims and mains. Or if you choose to read only a prelims relevant topic, make sure you read it in the correct way based on the recent nature of questions asked. Now it makes no sense to go and read about who are all the different Buddhist scholars, who are all the different Buddhist Jain scholars. I think that utility is less. Instead, learning the inferences, instead learning the underlying changes that has been taking place across different phases. I think that kind of reading is more meaningful. You need to have that smartness to decide first as to how to look at different subjects, right? I'll give another example. You look at polity questions that have been asked this year. So if you feel that you have a basic meaningful reading of Lakshmikant, now don't once again go and do the same reading of Lakshmikant again and again. But instead, I would say that now start attempting questions, just 15-20 minutes of question attempting a day. I think that kind of mixing of prelims activity along with whatever content you're preparing for mains is necessary, right? So do not totally sideline general studies for optional, nor do not totally sideline optional for general studies. Instead, decide how much of time are you going to judiciously allocate between the two, and then have individual subject-wise strategies, have an approach that maximizes the benefit of the time that you actually read, and have an approach where you only learn what will be useful for the upcoming year, right? So train yourself to spend your 5 hours in such a manner. And now coming to optionals, what should you be doing? For optional paper, it is sensible to have a very broad coverage of the optional paper in the next 5-6 months, right? You cannot get into too narrow specialization. One very wrong mistake that aspirants do is they simply take previous year question and they only prepare answers for those questions. That's a very bad preparation strategy. I would say that is like the last layer of preparation. After you have built a broad picture, after you have learned how to tackle any kind of question asked with a minimal number of points, now you take the previous year question and ensure you have the maximum amount of points for every single question. Whereas it's very incorrect to directly take previous year question and immediately now start only reading stuff which can give you answer for those PYQs alone. That's an unhealthy practice that will not fetch you the highest of the marks in any option. That can help you fetch 230, 240 marks, but not 270, 280 or 300. To get 300, build optional layer by layer. In the next 5 months, build the first layer where you are just exposed to all the topics in the syllabus sheet, where you are exposed to good books and literature available in an optional paper. The next 5 months from Jan to April or May, that is the time when you can start value adding, when you can start testing yourself against previous year's questions. Now try to seek unique differentiating points, then consolidate points. Yes, between January and May, you may have prelims work also. So what happens is during that time, only for one paper, you'll be able to do this meaningful value addition work. But after that, after your prelims, you have the gap in prelims and mains. That's a wonderful time where you can actually strengthen the other papers' minute value addition also, right? Just like how from January to May, you will have the optional work also parallelly going on. Similarly, from June to December also, you should have a very healthy general studies preparation along with a very useful prelims question solving preparation also going on. There is just no choice between optional and GS. And in GS, there is no choice between mains and prelims. All the preparation is integrated, and that's how successful toppers, they plan their preparation. Thank you.